We're live. And I just logged in on my phone.
Perfect.
Oh, well, hello.
Welcome back. Welcome to Happy Hour Live with Meg and T.
That's us. Yeah.
Hope you guys are staying home, staying safe, and keeping your hours happy. That's what we're here for. 8 o'clock nightly, we're going to be doing a daily happy hour, and we're excited to have some of you joining us. Let's see if we have anyone coming in yet. Oh, they're having trouble loading it. Let's see.
Okay.
Try again later. Maybe there's a lot of live stuff going on now.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we've got a couple people joining. Awesome. Hi, Ellen. Tamir's mom is here.
Maybe my grandma will be here, too. I saw
Hopefully.
she liked this video.
There's my mom. There's Oliver giving us some hair compliments to both of us.
Nice.
Appreciate that. We have the fashion chick, STA. We should probably get started here.
Let's do it.
We're gonna start every episode with, I guess we're gonna gear it around a prompt from the previous day. So as our show goes on, feel free to make requests of cocktails you'd like to learn about. And today we're featuring gin cocktails. So that was a viewer request yesterday. We had a few people requesting gin. So I'm going to be doing a riff on a Collins, which is one of my favorite classic gin cocktails, typically made with gin, lemon, a little simple syrup, and soda water for effervescence. Really fun at this time of year. Everything's in bloom, so it's nice to relax on the porch, have something light and spritzy and refreshing. And my spin on it today is going to be a little bit unique, based on my personality being a little more spunky than classic, and the ingredients I was able to find in our home. And Tamir, you want?
Yeah, I'll be actually doing something pretty similar. I'm going to spin off of a martini. So normally we make those martinis just with gin and dry vermouth. If a customer wants an olive or twist, that is just perfect. I love martinis with gin, a little dry vermouth, or maybe a lot more dry vermouth depending on my mood, and orange bitters, and then a lemon peel. So that's normally how I like it. I'll take it to another direction because we had so many requests for fruity or sweeter martinis last night. I heard chocolate, I heard blueberry, I heard espresso, so I know where that's going. They want something shaken or stirred in one of these martini glasses. So we found this in our little home here. Yeah, and so I'll do a little sweeter version of a martini that I think will be perfect for spring.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. I'm just lining these in order here. I like to start with the ingredient that I use the least. And usually you want to start off with your seasoning. I found these cucumber bitters from Bitter Truth. They're from Germany. And these are actually accessible many places. I bet Bevmo has definitely the orange bitters. They have other varieties of bitters. So I'm going to put some cucumber bitters in there. This should be like your seasoning for the cocktail. So if you like a little bit more seasoning, you can add more than that. But I put just a little bit in there. So, oh, I love the smell. You smell that cucumber. And now we have our Chirot. Megan talked about this the other night. This is her jam right here. It is an aloe liqueur with cucumber, and I think there's some other things in here. Oh, I'm going to read it right now. It has a little lemon, muskmelon, spearmint, and then of course sugar and water. So it's really good on the rocks, as Megan says. We keep this in the fridge just in case we want a little sip, but this goes a long way in a cocktail. So I'm going to add simply just a little 1/4 ounce of it in this martini just to give it a little cucumber spring flavor, and I don't want to add too much sweetness. This will go right in there. I'll lay that there. Now, we said we didn't have any vermouth the other day. We lied. We somehow found about 1/3 of a bottle of the Dolin Blanc vermouth. So this is a sweet white vermouth. Became very popular in France, particularly the town of Chambly. And this is also a wormwood, hence the vermouth, which means wormwood, fortified wine. So there are lots of aromatics in here. This is also really good on the rocks. I'm going to add this to this martini, because all martinis should have vermouth. How much and what kind is debatable over the past 150 years. I'm going to show this again. So this Dolan Blanc Vermouth is one of my favorite out of all the Dolan brands.
And I wish you guys could smell it right now, because it's really starting to smell like a lot of cucumbers. I can smell the muskmelon from Shiro. I think I'm just kind of like addicted to that stuff. That's my vice of choice. And it actually works. I was definitely feeling it after our first episode.
Yeah, and that's just a 1/4 ounce of that. If you were to pour a 1/4 ounce out of here, oh my God, you can get, I should just let you know, a little education. There are 25 ounces in this bottle. So you do the math. If you want to make 100 of these martinis, you'll just need 1 bottle. So don't overbuy it. But at the same time, it's so good. You might just drink
Buy all the Shiro. Buy Shiro by the pallet. You need it.
All right. We're going to add some gin to it. At first, I was really tempted to pour 2 ounces like I usually do in a martini. But I'm going to go a little lighter today. I'm going to just pour 1.5 ounces. I just want a little flavorful drink. I don't want it to be too strong tonight. So I'm going to go a little less. Like I mentioned last night, I'm not too familiar with these jiggers. So I'm actually going to guess where 1.5 ounces is. So I'm going to go a little under this 2 ounce portion here. And like I always do is taste these things. And actually, you know what? I think I just figured out this jigger. You tell me if I'm wrong, Megan. This line here means 1.5 ounces, and O at the top means 2 ounces?
That's what I've been telling myself for a long time.
All right, I figured it out. Now I know how to use these Japanese jiggers. Maybe I should use them more often at work.
And
when I can work again.
While I've kind of jumped into your presentation here, I was just going to tell them that Spiritworks is a really cool place in Petaluma, California. We just actually went there before the shelter in place for a field trip. I took my bar team from Commons Club at the Virgin Hotel, and amazing. It was the first time I went to a distillery, and they described to me that they were grain to glass, which means they actually take this red California wheat and they mill it in this old-fashioned, kind of looks like a giant like meat grinder, and basically just pulverize the wheat into like a powder that we were thinking, oh, we could do a food pairing and make pancakes with our chef. But they distill the grain there. And gin is typically known for the botanical basket. So, of course, they had juniper and coriander and lemon and a bunch of beautiful botanicals, which make it amazing. But I swear that this gin in particular, it almost had like a vanilla quality, which is a little more rare for a gin, and it has a mouthfeel that is really opulent.
Yeah, it's oily. Very oily.
You think oily, and I guess maybe oily. I'm thinking like ice cream. Creamy.
It's definitely creamy.
We're kind of saying the same thing, but back to Tamir's cocktail. But Spiritworks gin, highly recommend. Really strong intro gin for someone who maybe is a little more comfortable with vodka, because it almost has like a vanilla vodka flavor quality.
They make their own vodka there. And what's fun about their vodka is it's a little higher in alcohol, and it's got a hint of flavor, believe it or not. And then they redistill it, the same vodka that they make from scratch, into their gin here. So the really good stuff, and the grain to glass, it's great to support, especially just being in Sebastopol. This is batch number 16 here. They must be at almost batch 30 by now. Who knows?
Okay, so far we put cucumber bitters and Spiritworks and Shiro. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot a couple. Thankfully, he lined them up for me.
All right. We're going to roll along as we go.
And I haven't seen any suggestions yet for content for our next episode. If anyone has any ideas of other cocktails they want to learn about, maybe for tomorrow, feel free to let us know.
This is my little taste. Make sure it's ready. I can do that because it's my own glass. Oh yeah, I'm glad I didn't use 2 ounces. It would have been really strong. So I'm going to give it a little more dilution with the water. Just like we said before, all cocktails must contain water. All right. One thing I really wish we were missing here, well, maybe a cucumber. But if not a cucumber, a lemon peel would really brighten this up, especially from that lemon that comes from that Chardonnay. I love lemons. We actually do have a little lemon here from Megan's garnish tray, but I'm gonna let her use it for her drink. I like to peel a whole lemon in there, but this is it. Your spring martini, suggested by all our lovely followers.
Are you gonna try it?
Oh, you want me to try it? Okay.
You're the artist.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, King. I'm happy.
And I'm really more into the smelling today. Wow, it smells like Chardonnay, which is a good thing.
But it's got a good kick.
So that means cucumber, mint, melon.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes down easy. For me, it's drinking kind of like a Vesper cocktail, which is usually, well, not usually, it's gin, vodka, Lillet, and orange bitters. The cucumber is giving it a little more of a savory quality, which is interesting, kind of a garden earthy flavor. So Tamir was acting like this fell out of the sky, but that was because I bought it because I love it and highly recommend cucumber bitters. Really fun thing to play with at the home bar. And without further ado, I'll just hop on into my cocktail for the night. I'm going to be making the Collins variation. And we were talking earlier, we were talking about the history of the Collins. You want to jump in here, Tamir, with a little bit of knowledge?
Sure.
The 10-second version?
Yeah. Okay. John Collins was a waiter in Europe in the early 1800s. And I don't know if he came up with the drink or somebody in the restaurant came up with the drink, but it was definitely named after him. Fast forward, maybe 40 or 50 years later, when the Collins became really popular in England and they were drinking a lot of Old Tom gin. So you eventually turned it into Tom Collins. But I don't know the exact history on how, but every recipe book you look at, you see Tom Collins, you just assume, oh, that must be with Old Tom gin. So that's Old Tom gin, which is a sweeter gin.
Today we're deviating from that a little bit. We're going to use this Rusty Blade gin. Sweet little donation from the Kevins. Thank you so much to the Kevins.
Oh, yeah.
It has a higher proof. This one, I think it was 94 proof. Let's check it out. But it's made from the Angel Share in San Francisco, actually. And they say it drinks a little bit like a brown spirit. The Rusty bursts with opulent aromas of caramelized ginger, toasted orange, cinnamon spice, and pecan pie. So those are tasting notes you would think of more with a cognac or a darker spirit. But it smells like a gin. So there's a lot going on in here already. And I had mentioned before I wanted to do a Collins variation because of the time of year. So jumping off the high dive of the Collins concept, I'm pouring 1.5 ounces of this gin. And we were down to our last half of a lemon, and I'm saving it for salad dressing tomorrow. But limoncello is one way to incorporate a different kind. I'm going to actually shake this up. It's a way to incorporate some acid and some sugar content. So I'm going to use 1/2 ounce of that because I know that my cocktail's already going to be in the danger zone of being a little too sweet. But we're going to just veer right on the edge of sweet, sour, and actually spice. I'm going to use this Ancho Reyes. It's an ancho chili liqueur. I'm just using 1/4 ounce here. And that's going to kind of take the cocktail more towards that caramely color of the Rusty gin as well. And this smells amazing. This smells like hot chilies, maybe
Chocolate?
a little bit like chocolate. Yeah, I'm thinking fajita spice mix.
Oh, yeah.
So it has a lot of
Mole.
fun kind of poblano mole spices happening, and it's a really fun favorite for the home bar.
Especially Megan.
Especially Megan. We've often had like 3 or 4 bottles of that at our home bar because I accidentally picked up too many. And then just as a suggestion, when you're making cocktails, if you're not finding exactly what you're looking for, get creative and look at your cooking spices, herbs, and think in broad terms of flavor profile. So I wanted to make a Collins, so I knew I needed acid. So I'm actually gonna just take a tiny pinch of citric acid, and it's gonna add kind of a lemon head quality, which I think is really fun. And this cocktail I think would be really great. We're gonna shake it down, and it could have been topped with soda water, but I'm gonna use this Fentimans lemonade, the Victorian lemonade. So that's part of why I just kind of know my third eye tells me it's gonna be a little sweet. So this citric acid is just gonna like offset it perfectly. So it's gonna be also tart. And I just used barely the tiniest pinch of that, so I'm gonna discard the rest in my little sink here. And we are ready to shake that guy down.
Oh, yeah.
Terry, seeing any suggestions from people? I heard the Kevin suggesting something with rum.
Well, I'm just real excited my grandma joined.
Oh,
She missed my drink. Eric and Oliver are just talking to each other. That's all I see so far.
That's why we're here. This is a way we can all be together and just keep our hours happy as we just kind of get through this crazy time. So
What do you have there?
this is a little bit of a wacky garnish I put together.
Is it edible?
This one I wouldn't eat. I just clipped it to the outside of the glass.
Good. So don't eat that.
Don't eat it. I
Okay.
snipped a couple fronds from this snake plant. I don't know that it's poisonous.
Right here?
I brought this to show from the kitchen. I don't think it's poisonous, but what this is kind of representing is if I had been at the restaurant or had access to a grocery store, I would have probably picked up a pineapple and used pineapple fronds, which also I wouldn't recommend eating, but I feel better putting a culinary produce item on a garnish than I do putting a succulent on a garnish, but it works.
Looks
it's
great.
wacky, it's fun, it's eccentric, a little like me.
Can't wait till you drink it. I just want to see how many times it hits your face.
I think the Kevins are gonna have to battle that one. I'm gonna try it with a spoon today. But this should be just a light, refreshing, sweet and spicy Collins variation. So I'm actually gonna repurpose this guy from you. Thank you so much. And just try a little hint. And I definitely get that lemon head, tart and tangy, and just a bit of heat and bite at the end. So it's not too sweet at all. The gin comes through with a lot of just, I want to say unction, if that's a word. It's kind of packs a punch at the end there and keeps a longer alcohol finish than if it had just been a lemonade. So I love it. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's effervescent. It's everything I want in a springtime cocktail.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess, let's see, that might be it. We could just hold it to say goodbye for the night. Let's see, why don't we flip her? It's about 20 minutes. Oh, they think my cocktail's crazy. And Oliver thinks it looks so good. It tastes pretty good, too. I'd say you could try it, but
Sounds like
I want to give it to the Kevin, so I don't really want
I was
your germs
sneaking
on
in
it.
some requests there, and I saw a Buster Brown request.
I see Eric thinks this drink should be called the Bomb Collins. I really like that.
Hell yeah.
And what was the request? Sorry,
Buster Brown cocktail.
definitely that would be a good
I
one.
would love to make that.
So yeah, we'll look into the Buster Brown, and then we had some suggestions for Amari cocktails. Hi, Aunt Lou.
Can somebody deliver lemons tomorrow? Would that be possible? Thank you.
We might be able to make it to a tree. We could go on a hike and see if we could find some. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Just remember, stay home, stay safe, keep your hours happy, and your drinks sweet and sour.
With some salt.